to survive the Battle of Galactica, the most powerful permanent laser demonstration in the world. That was inspired by the motion picture and television series Battlestar Galactica, starring Warren Green. Now, Battlestar Galactica, that's a good example of a production filmed inside of a soundstage. And if you look down here on my side of the tram, those big buildings you see down there, those are our sound stages that I've been mentioning. Now, we have 35 of them located here on the front lot, but they're actually numbered 1 to 44. See, certain numbers over the years have been omitted for various reasons, including superstition. We have no numbers 7, 11, or 13. Now, soundstage number 1, that used to be the home of the Jack Benny Show many years ago. That recently housed the interior sets for Knight Rider, with David. Consider it good luck to have at least one scene of your movie filmed inside of soundstage 28. If you get your camera ready here on my side of the tram, our first movie set on the lot. Nice big colonial mansion right there. Oh, wait a minute though, this one's on fire. But don't worry, that colonial mansion will never burn down. As we swing around behind it, you'll see it's simply a facade. And by facade, we mean false front. Now the flames, they're real. They're provided by gas jets behind the windows, and black paint provides scorch marks. And we'll see some 500 of those facades throughout our tour today. Now, coming up at the bottom of the hill here is where our makeup and costume departments are located. This is where the actors start today at Universal Studios. And as a courtesy to the people who might be working in this area today, we're going to be off the mic for just a moment. Presented by the Eastman Kodak Company. And we're going to be getting off the tram, and we're going to ask you to take the exact same seat you're sitting in right now. And an easy way to remember where you're sitting, just remember what car you're in. And also we have 6 seats to a row. So once again, please remember what seat you're sitting in. We're going to ask you to take the exact same seats when we reboard the tram a little bit later on. Now it's going to be sort of a different tram, so we're going to ask you to take all your personal belongings with you. As you exit the tram, if you follow the blue line around behind these trams that are next to us, we're going to join that other group under the gray awning. We produced over the last couple of years. Then we're going to take you into Soundstage 32. We're going to show you all about special effects, motion pictures, and television. If you need any camera supplies at this time, you can pick up some at the Kodak booth here to your left under the maroon awning. And also, if you get separated, remember, you're either at Dave's group or Angela's group. Just go over there to the white booth, and they will point you in the right direction. So don't forget, Dave's group, Angela's group. That way you won't get lost. I'll tell you what, while we're here on the front lot, we'll just explain the area we're in right now. Here on the front lot, this is where we have our sound stages, and this is also where we do interior filming. We also do post-production work here on the front lot for a number of shows. Now, to give you an example of how that works, now, Miami Vice, that is a Universal show, stars Don Johnson and Phil Michael Thomas every Friday night on NBC. Now, it's filmed entirely on location in Florida, in Miami, but so all the post-production work, the music, the sound effects, and things like that, the editing, it all takes place right here at Universal Studios. See, when the cameras stop rolling each day in Florida, they send that completed footage out here to Universal Studios for processing. They fly it out here that night. Once it's processed, they call this processing the dailies, because it takes there. Now, they sometimes film for some 12 to 14 hours every day, but out of that 14 hours of filming, they can only get 10 minutes of footage that they can actually use. So as you can see, it takes about 7 to 8 days to film an entire episode of Miami Vice. Now, once these dailies have been synced, they're sent over to the producer of the show. His name's Michael Mann. Michael Mann sits down with the editor and also the associate producer, and he'll pick out the best shots.
Excuse me, you have the lens cap.
Oh,
and then,
thank you.
He'll put it on a video.
Don't like it.
Director in Florida. That's what they call cross-country creativity. Then the director will look over it, and he'll phone his comments back in here to Universal Studios. All the film stays here. Once it gets here, we'll send a video cassette copy back to Florida. Now, once we get done with the filming, that's when we move into the post-production phase. First process they call looping. Sometimes they call it looping the dialogue. See, sometimes we shoot scenes silent. The actors will speak their lines, and they'll perform, the scene just the way they usually would.
Hey, you guys want to tuck in here real close? Come on up, Julia. We're not going to start without you, sweetheart. There's Julia.
The car's going to come around the corner.
And another train is going to come down
so
one
this
larger
eliminates that. Also, sometimes the director will eliminate the microphones to allow the actors more movement.
Sir, if I say absolutely anything on this tour today that offends you, just kind of look at me like this, and I will run. It's not responsible. You do? And of course, you guys already know that. Okay? You two gentlemen back there, you, if I say anything else, you guys are 12 times my size here.
Dork's got a state-of-the-art recording studio inside his home. And all the music from Miami Vice is done right there. It's the only show on television that has its own soundtrack for each episode. Once he gets the music taken care of, that's when they start adding the sound effects. We'll move inside and show you how to put sound effects in Miami Vice. You see those actors walking down the screen. We actually got 2 guys called Philly artists that are in the studio.
made that sound. And also, you guys go crazy over breaking glass.
Jerry Duke, come on over here. Come on into Disney.
Style. And sometimes these athletes are coming in 60 to 70 hours every week. It wouldn't be surprising if they were here on July 4th working on an upcoming episode of Miami Vice. Very exciting to see. But a lot of work goes into it. Plus, the double together to send the show to more people executives and NBC. If they like it the way it is, they'll air it on Friday night. If not, they'll send it back to us here at Universal and do some more editing on it, get it ready. And that's what you and I see it every Friday night on NBC. And that's basically how it works for all of the shows that we do on location. Magnum PI with Tom Selleck, that's another show that we do. It's filmed in location in Hawaii.
About 30 years.
In producer Steven Spielberg's newest adventure, Back to the Future, Michael J. Fox plays a teenager who is accidentally transported back to the year 1955. He finds himself in the middle of his hometown, where Main Street has suddenly jumped 30 years back in time. Creating a town square that realistically captured two time periods was no easy task for the filmmakers. After scouting locations in Texas and Northern California, they decided the best place to shoot was right here on the back lot at Universal Studios. The setting gave them the control they needed to bring both 1955 and 1985 to life. With Universal's town square as a foundation, the crew set out to build recognizable storefronts from the 50s. For background research, they studied old movies, books, and magazines. The idea was to recreate the period in every detail, from the largest billboard to the smallest license plate. The 30-year changeover required a crew of 40 and 8 weeks of work. For Michael J. Fox, the result proved convincing.
When we walk into the back lot, it's so perfect, it's so detailed, and there's so much work that goes into it. It is 1955. I mean, you're there. So look around it. Everywhere you look, you see the establishments, and you see the cars, and it makes it very easy to react.
After completing the 1955 sequences, director Robert Zemeckis and his cast went off to shoot interior scenes for 3 weeks. During this time, the construction crew updated Main Street to the present, with the same attention to detail that carried them into the past. They followed the philosophy that a town square may no longer be the center of activity. Through the use of art direction and special aging processes, the filmmakers visualized the deterioration of Hill Valley. Shoppers are now going to suburban malls, and Main Street has lost its charm. The corner diner has been replaced by a aerobics school. Movie theaters have become churches. Even the large park has been replaced by a parking lot. The efforts that went into making Hill Valley a real place are part of what makes Back to the Future a special film. But time travel involves more than just a look. Imagine meeting your parents at your own age, or teaching your friends the meaning of rock and roll, or experimenting with the limits of science. It's all in the name of time travel, as you'll find out when you take a trip back to the future. Back to the Future, now playing in theaters everywhere, from Amblin Entertainment and Universal Studios.
Okay, first I'd like to ask if there are any children in the audience whose birthday it is today. How about this week?
Yeah, right on.
You want this week? It's his birthday this week? Monday, okay. Yours too? When is it? It's your birthday? The 19th?
Johnny, come here.
Okay. Just checking. Okay. All right, now the reason why I'm asking this is because we need some volunteers. Because David and I need our cars washed. Good try though, huh? Okay. Well, I do need volunteers for our show. All right. First volunteer, I need a man or woman, medium height, medium build, ladies with short hair.
Are you all right? Rolling? Marker?
Action! Hello, I'm Robert Wagner. Welcome to the special effects stage. Universal Studios has asked us to take you behind the scenes, show you what we do behind the lights and cameras to make the fantastic effects you see in motion pictures and on television look so realistic. During the next few minutes, we will take you into the workshop of some of the most famous technicians and movie-making geniuses of all time to show you their secrets. Ready, fellas? Here you will see how the spectacular special effects of the cinema are actually created. Everything you'll be seeing and doing here involves the authentic processes which motion picture artists and technicians use to create magic. Magic that makes you walk out of a movie theater and ask, how did they do that? How did they destroy Los Angeles in an earthquake? How did Fred Astaire dance on the ceiling in Royal Wedding? How did they make Superman fly?
Now, you know, Mr. Wagner, when movies were invented at the turn of the century, they were a mystifying novelty. People were asking themselves, how do they do that? How do they make pictures move? Well, Thomas Edison opened up his first kinetoscope parlor, aided by motion picture film. That was a new invention for one of his colleagues, George Eastman. Since then, motion pictures have stirred the imaginations of more people than any other art form in the world.
A Frenchman named Georges Méliès started it all in 1906 with his 8-minute space epic, A Trip to the Moon. And soon, movie pioneers were amazing audiences around the world with increasingly sophisticated illusions. From the beginning, special effects have transformed imagination into visual reality.
We've got to get out of here.
Happy 4th of July! Well, special effects look different when you see them up close. This is an exact replica of the clay miniature used in Universal's Flash Gordon serial. Fueled by ordinary 4th of July sparklers, this 1936 special effect thrilled the nation of Saturday matinee movie audiences.
In 1901, Thomas Edison was experimenting with an anti-gravity effect. This is a recreation of a lost Edison kinetoscope. The effect is clear, but can you tell which person here is defying gravity? We built a replica of Edison's room to show you his secret.
Now, Edison discovered that by turning a room set on its side and tilting the camera to stay level with the floor of the set, he could make someone appear to defy the law of gravity. Well, our set's turned on its side, our camera's tilted on its side, and if you watch the screen over here on the left, you'll see how our camera captures this effect. And, well, what's your name?
Kate.
Kate.
Kate, you know you broke our set. You see that thing laying down there? She broke that when you were behind the curtain. Where are you from, Kate?
New Hampshire.
Okay. Tell you what are you playing here, Kate? Do you have any idea? No idea. Probably because you're not playing with a full deck, Kate. He's only got 6 cards there. Tell you what, Kate, put that in your right hand, put that in your left hand, put them out like that. Now wave those cards up and down. Looks kind of silly doing that, doesn't she? Tell you what, Kate, do that again and then drop those cards. And everybody out there watch the left-hand screen. Go ahead and drop them. Kind of ruins the effect, doesn't it? Kate, thanks for helping us out today. I think we should give her a big hand. And don't worry about the set. I'll fix it when we're done here. Now, this technique was greatly improved for When the Clouds Roll By. That was a 1919 film by Douglas Fairbanks. Now, Fairbanks built a room that could rotate 360 degrees, and by rotating the camera with the room, he gave the illusion of the room standing still. Actually, Fairbanks is running in place, and the room is the only thing moving. And they used this in 1951 for MGM's Royal Wedding. This is how Fred Astaire danced on the walls of the ceiling of his hotel room. Don't try this at home. And Stanley Kubrick created this stunning scene for 2001: A Space Odyssey, once again with camera and set rotating together.
In 1925, an adventure film called Lost World introduced another process that mystified audiences. Willis O'Brien, a young wizard of movie making, had perfected a new technique, stop-motion animation. He would use it again a few years later in 1933 for his masterpiece, King Kong.
I'd like to demonstrate how stop-motion animation works. Willis O'Brien constructed miniature models with movable limbs. He then moved each limb in tiny increments, shooting 1 frame of film at a time. Weeks and thousands of frames later, the film was projected at normal speed, and the results were astonishing.
The same technique was used in 1953 by O'Brien's protege, Ray Harryhausen, for The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. Harryhausen delivered his masterpiece in 1959 with the stunning Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. Those early years were an exciting time to be making and watching movies. But this is only the first part of our experience. In just a moment, we're going to take you to set 2. I'll step next door to see if everything's ready for us. I'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
Now don't move.
We wouldn't dream of it. Well, while Mr. Wagner is checking out our next attraction, please make sure that you have all your personal belongings with you. Uh-huh. I think I hear him now.
We're ready to roll on set 2.
Great.
Please stand up and follow me through the curtain to your left. We'll show you how the craft of special effects progressed. Come on.
There you go. Maybe just about got everybody seated.
A beautiful, wintry mountain scene. Right? Wrong. It's a miniature. Another special effect of creative movie making. These next scenes are so realistic, it's hard to believe that an actor never placed a foot on these sets. By building miniatures instead of full-size sets, filmmakers can take almost any point of view and create events that would otherwise be too expensive, dangerous, or destructive to shoot. These buildings are part of the most complex miniature set ever constructed. One of 2 built for Steven Spielberg's film 1941. This Pacific Ocean Park set was originally 120 feet by 90 feet. Our stage can only hold 50 feet of it. The greatest effect came when a Japanese submarine blasted the Ferris wheel. It
is often too expensive to transport a cast and a crew to a faraway location. Perhaps the location no longer exists, or maybe it never existed at all. Such obstacles never stood in the way of imaginative filmmakers. They simply invented the matte painting process. In this process, a very realistic painting is combined with live action in a perfectly matching blend of artwork and cinematography. The painted portion fills in details that didn't exist. The final result? Movie magic on a grand scale. These scenes used what film technicians call a traveling matte. It's a technique that allows movie makers to put people and objects into moving scenes in a very realistic way.
Several different types of Kodak film are used to create this traveling matte sequence. Kodak is the only company to provide the motion picture industry with such a wide range of dependable film products. Kodak has won no less than 5 Oscars and 4 Emmys for its achievements in the science of filmmaking. Now we're going to turn from the science of filmmaking to the magic of filmmaking and one of the most memorable movies of all time, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. And here I have my volunteer. What's your name, honey?
Raquel.
Raquel, what a pretty name. Do you know how to ride a bicycle?
Yes.
Have you ever flown on a bicycle?
No.
Well, hang on. When a video camera is used with traveling matte, the process is called chroma key. One important ingredient of that process is a blue screen. Now, the video camera will electronically eliminate the color blue, thus wiping out the background. If you look at the screen to your left, you see what the camera sees, and the screen on your right, you see our background has been eliminated, and that's where our background footage will go. Check the screen in the middle as we put all the elements together. Okay, sweetie, you ready? Hang on, here we go. Okay, wave to everybody. It's all right, never mind pedals, just look up. Look up, sweetie. You see yourself on the TV? Wave to everyone. There, the girl. Okay, come on down for a 2-point landing. Great. Good job. Let's have a big hand for our little movie star, who will be signing autographs in the Entertainment Center. Mr. Wagner, do you have something more to tell us?
No, perhaps not.
Mr. Wagner, are you on a break? These stars are so temperamental.
We've just seen a number of visual special effects, but there's another important dimension to filmmaking: sound. Miami Vice, the most popular action series on television. Visually stunning. It sets action trends and fashion trends nationwide, and it is the best sounding show on TV. But it doesn't start that way. Listen to how a scene sounds when it's photographed.
Ready for your cue and gunshots.
Julie, go get help.
Look around. Ready to run across the...
First, we're going to give the scene a more dramatic feeling by adding music. This is Grammy Award-winning composer and musician Jan Hammer. He not only writes the music for Miami Vice, he performs it as well.
On Miami Vice, one of the things we've been able to accomplish is to create a complete sense of mood and atmosphere with music. In this scene, the music must create a sense of danger and dramatic tension, and it must do it in the Miami Vice style.
We can hear how much the music adds to the scene. Then the finishing touches in the audio production process are added, the sound effects.
All right, Mr. Wagner, and I'm going to demonstrate how these sound effects are created. Now, this is a miniature version of a Foley stage. This is where we recreate those sounds. Now, today when the actors are walking on the screen, I'm going to match their footsteps down here on the carpet. When Don Johnson kicks in the door, I'll kick in this door. And when the bad guy goes crashing through the window, I'm going to hurl this brick through that window right there and break it into a million pieces. So we'll recap the scene for you, show you how it works. Here we go. There's the door. And here we go, some footsteps.
Okay? Okay, now watch. He's going to look around the corner. Look, there you go. Okay. Look out. Okay, here we go. Now don't miss your cue, okay? Here we go. Okay, here we go. Look out. They really wouldn't let me throw a real one, too. Better throw that back, too. I'm going to need that for another show. Yeah, just toss it up here. Now, there's still something missing in this scene. Does anybody know what that is? Exactly, the gunshots.
Gunshots present special problems for sound editors. Real guns just don't sound dramatic enough. So they edit in special sound effects for every single gunshot in the soundtrack of Miami Vice.
I get a bang out of my job.
Now the scene is complete. Let's play it back with music, Foley, gunshots, and dialogue all in the right places.
That's how it works. So next week when you watch Miami Vice, think of all these people behind the scenes and put it all together. Let's go back to Mr. Wagner and find out what's coming up.
We have seen many of the visual and audio effects that make the movies magic. But there is more. So let's go to our next attraction. It's out of this world. I'll see you there.
Just a little bit, squish down a little bit, with one lady hanging right off the end here. Okay, great.
Is that bad English?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Universal's 2010 set, where you will experience state-of-the-art special effects as seen in such movies as these.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world of high technology special effects, where the technicians of visual fantasy create a reality so convincing we can willingly believe in it.